Bishop T.D. Jakes has long stood as a powerful voice of faith, wisdom, and encouragement for people across the world. His sermons have uplifted hearts, his leadership has shaped communities, and his presence has symbolized strength and spiritual clarity for generations. Recently, however, concern quietly grew among followers who sensed a change in his rhythm and visibility. When his family chose to speak openly, their words revealed not a crisis, but a deeply human moment of reflection and care. What emerged was a story not of decline, but of intentional pause, balance, and renewal. This chapter in Bishop Jakes's life invites a deeper understanding of leadership, reminding us that faith leaders are not immune to exhaustion, and that true strength sometimes appears in slowing down, listening to the body, and embracing support with humility and grace. A legacy built on purpose and service, Bishop Jakes's influence did not emerge overnight. His journey has been marked by unwavering commitment to teaching, healing, and empowering people from all walks of life. Through the Potter's House, he built more than a church. He built a spiritual home that extended far beyond physical walls. His messages reach people through sermons, books, conferences, and media, offering guidance during moments of pain, growth, and transformation. Over time, he became not only a pastor, but a cultural figure whose voice carried weight in conversations about faith, leadership, and personal development. This level of impact required immense energy, vision, and sacrifice. While his calling brought fulfillment, it also demanded constant presence and emotional investment. Understanding this legacy helps explain why the recent pause feels significant. It is not just about one man stepping back, but about a leader whose life has been deeply intertwined with service, now choosing to honor his own well-being alongside his mission. The quiet weight of relentless responsibility. Leadership at such a scale carries pressure that is often unseen. Behind the inspiring sermons and confident presence lies the reality of constant decision-making, travel, and responsibility for countless lives. Bishop Jakes carried the expectations of a global congregation while also navigating the personal responsibilities of family and spiritual mentorship. Over time, this relentless pace can slowly wear down even the strongest individuals. The strain does not always announce itself loudly. It appears in fatigue, in moments of pause, in the need to catch one's breath. For many leaders, acknowledging this weight feels difficult, especially when so many look to them for strength. Bishop Jakes's experience highlights how devotion to purpose can sometimes overshadow personal limits. His journey reflects the challenge faced by many who give endlessly to others, often delaying attention to their own health until the signs can no longer be ignored. Moments that sparked concern and reflection. Followers began noticing subtle changes that felt different from the norm. His energy appeared more measured, his movements more deliberate, and his public appearances less frequent. These moments, though small, carried meaning for those who had watched him lead with vigor for so long. Conversations naturally emerged, fueled by care rather than criticism. People wondered whether he was simply tired or facing something deeper. The absence of immediate explanation allowed speculation to grow, reflecting how deeply invested the community felt in his well-being. These observations were not about disappointment, but about love and concern. They revealed how closely people connected to him, not just as a preacher, but as a person. The growing awareness created space for an important conversation about health, aging, and the cost of long-term leadership, preparing the ground for the family's eventual transparency. Family honesty and a shift toward balance. When Bishop Jakes's family chose to speak, their message carried clarity and compassion. They did not frame his situation as a dramatic health crisis, but as a conscious decision to restore balance. Their words emphasized rest, reflection, and the importance of listening to the body and spirit. This honesty offered relief to many who feared the unknown. It also modeled a healthy approach to leadership, showing that stepping back does not mean stepping away from purpose. By sharing this truth, the family humanized a figure often seen as larger than life. They reminded the public that care, support, and renewal are not signs of weakness. Instead, they are necessary practices for longevity. This openness allowed followers to shift from worry to prayerful support, understanding that this season was about preservation, not loss, redefining strength through rest and renewal. In a culture that often celebrates constant productivity, choosing rest can feel countercultural. Bishop Jakes' season of renewal challenges the idea that leadership requires nonstop output. By slowing down, delegating responsibilities, and prioritizing health, he demonstrates a deeper form of strength. This approach reframes rest as an act of wisdom rather than retreat. Renewal allows clarity to return and passion to be sustained over time. His decision sends a powerful message to leaders everywhere that caring for oneself is part of honoring one's calling. Spiritual work is not meant to drain life completely, but to flow from a place of wholeness. Through this lens, his pause becomes a teaching moment. It shows that faith includes trusting others, releasing control, and allowing space for healing without guilt or fear. A ministry learning to share leadership. The changes within the Potter's House reflect thoughtful preparation rather than sudden reaction. Leadership responsibilities have been shared more broadly, allowing others to rise and contribute their gifts. His children, particularly Sarah Jakes Roberts, have stepped into greater visibility, offering their own voices and perspectives while honoring the foundation already built. This transition highlights the strength of a ministry that is not dependent on one individual alone. It demonstrates foresight and humility, ensuring continuity and growth beyond a single generation. The congregation is witnessing leadership as a collective effort rooted in trust and collaboration. These adjustments also provide space for Bishop Jakes to focus on his health without the burden of carrying everything alone. The ministry's evolution reflects maturity, showing that true leadership empowers others rather than holding tightly to every role. Global support and the power of community. The response from the public has been filled with compassion and encouragement. Messages of prayer, gratitude, and respect poured in from around the world, reflecting the deep impact Bishop Jakes has had on countless lives. Rather than diminishing his influence, this season has strengthened the bond between leader and community. People see themselves reflected in his vulnerability, recognizing their own need for balance and care. The conversation has expanded beyond one individual, opening dialogue about the pressures faced by spiritual leaders everywhere. Supporters are not only standing with him but also learning from his example. The collective response underscores the power of community when honesty is met with empathy. It reminds us that leadership is not a solitary path, but a shared journey supported by mutual care and understanding. Lessons that extend beyond the pulpit. This chapter in Bishop Jakes' life offers lessons that reach far beyond the church. It speaks to anyone carrying heavy responsibility, whether in ministry, family, or career. His willingness to slow down teaches that longevity requires listening, adjusting, and sometimes stepping back to move forward. It affirms that vulnerability can deepen trust rather than weaken authority. By embracing rest and shared leadership, he models a sustainable way of living out purpose. For followers, this season is not a pause in inspiration, but a different form of it. They are witnessing a leader live the values he teaches, choosing wisdom over pride and health over appearance. In doing so, Bishop Jakes continues to inspire, not just through words, but through a life that honors both calling and humanity.